All right. Hello, everybody, live on Zoom and live on Facebook. We are going to talk about bookkeeping. This is the Bottom Line Live. I'm going to share this to Wealth Dynamics group because I'm doing this for their clients as well. And then we're going to get started. So tonight we're going to talk about what is the best bookkeeping software. And obviously different people have different opinions about this and which software you should use or which one's best. And I'm only going to tell you from my experience. I've used a lot of the different softwares. So I use almost exclusively at this point QuickBooks Online. So that's the software I'm going to be showing you guys. I have a sample company. I'm going to show you all the different pieces. We're going to do and we only have a half an hour and there's not that much bookkeeping that I can teach everyone in half an hour, but I'm going to show you the different parts, where things are, how to use it, why I think it's best, things like that. And the floor is open. If you have any questions about bookkeeping, now's the time to ask. There are no stupid questions, so any question that you want to ask, I will answer it. Again, of course, we are in tax season. I can tell it's tax season because I have CPAs and clients emailing and calling and needing things right now, right away, and therefore it must be tax season. So if you are an S corporation and you filed an extension, your taxes are due September 15th. If you're a single member LLC, or a sole proprietor, not elected to be taxed as an S corp, your taxes are due October 15th. So just remember that if you don't have bookkeeping done yet for 2021, run, don't walk. You got to get in line now. We are actually probably able to start your bookkeeping within the next week or two. So this is kind of like your last minute if you want to get it done by the end of August. Now is the time. So come now. And as well as a reminder, it's also tax planning season. If you haven't done your tax planning for 2022 yet, you got to get it done by the end of the year. I know it's only almost August 1st, but it goes by fast, man. So if you're trying to do tax planning for 2022, you got to do it now. By the end of the year, it's going to start getting too late. And you almost can start doing tax planning for 2023 in a minute now. So tax planning season is now, tax extension season is now, and bookkeeping, if you haven't done 2021, you are way past due and you gotta like run now. And I'm not just saying me, if you have a bookkeeper and you haven't given them your books yet to do, they're about to be too busy. So, excuse me, please do that. Whether it's, my company or someone else, we want to help you, but we have a lot of people that are coming to us right now. So definitely do that. Where is the Facebook live stream? Excuse me. It's in the Wealth Dynamics group and it's on my Facebook page. If you want to go there. Okay. I think my voice is getting excited about tax season. So it's making some noises. Okay, so I do have QuickBooks Online. I'm going to show you guys all about it. I think QuickBooks Online is the best bookkeeping software. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its issues. Sometimes it does get glitchy. There are always, improvements that can be made. It doesn't mean that there aren't. I know a lot of CPAs and people who have been doing bookkeeping a long time prefer QuickBooks Desktop. And QuickBooks Desktop has a lot of functionality and reporting capability that is more robust than most of the QuickBooks Online, levels, subscriptions that you can get. QuickBooks Online Advanced is pretty much the same at this point as QuickBooks Desktop. So if your CPA has ever told you that QuickBooks Online is not as good as Desktop, QuickBooks Online Advanced is. The other thing is on QuickBooks Desktop, they are trying to get rid of it slowly. So they're going to be they're starting to charge a subscription basis for the QuickBooks Desktop as well. so that more people are willing to do the subscription based on QuickBooks Online. Now, I have tried almost all the softwares that probably exist, and I still think QuickBooks Online is the best. It's the most intuitive and customer friendly and easy to use. I do not make any money from selling QuickBooks Online. I do not work for QuickBooks. So I just want you guys to know that in not doing it. Actually, that's not true. I think I do. I sell it through wholesale, you know, through a service. So I do get a few dollars if you buy it, but I only did that because I sell it so much anyways. Just so I'm being plainly honest, I sign people up for QuickBooks Online regardless of whether I get paid or not. QuickBooks Online should make me a sales rep for them and send me a lot of money, but alas, they do not. I basically do not make money on this. I just really like it. Out of all the ones I've tried Xero, I've tried Intact, Sage, I've tried you know, some other ones, Zoho Books, and I can't even think of all the names, but I've tried a lot of them, and I still think that QuickBooks Online is best for what it does for companies. If you're smaller and you don't yet need a full, robust bookkeeping software, you just need something where you're using one bank account and you want to know if it's business or personal. I think we use Tax Hurdler for that, and it works out pretty well. If you have a Mint Builder membership with Wealth Dynamics, you get that for free. Keep that in mind. But otherwise, if you have a company and you're making money and you have separate bank accounts for your company and it's a, you know, you're really doing that, then QuickBooks Online, I think, is the way to go. 9.5 out of 10 times I've found it to be the best way to go. I haven't found a better way. Also with desktop, there's less functionality as far as being connected to your bank accounts. QuickBooks Online will connect directly to your bank accounts and credit cards and pull in all the data so you can go in and categorize it. Desktop doesn't do that natively, so you have to actually go and download the information or pay for the banking connection. As well as QuickBooks Online, you can access it anywhere. So your bookkeeper, who, I'm in Florida and I have clients in California, I have clients in New York, I have clients all over the country. We can access their books from anywhere. They don't have to stop accessing their books. I don't have to remote log in and kick anyone off their computer. I don't have to pay for extra software like Quickbooks to be able to log in or anything like that. So just as the very basics, and then I'm going to start showing you this. Does anybody have any questions before I jump into showing you QuickBooks? Let me see. I don't have any questions here. Do I have any questions on my live, on my Zoom? No other questions. Okay. So yeah, I answered Doug's question. The live is on my Facebook page and on the Wealth Dynamics Facebook page. So, and oh, you know what? It's not set for public. So let me make it, I'm going to edit the audience and make it public so then anyone can see it. All right, that's going to help. So here we go. Now it's not just set to friends. Anybody who goes on my Facebook page, Maya Weinreb, can see it. Okay, perfect. So now the moment we have all been waiting for, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys QuickBooks. Now this is a demo company, so I'm not showing you anybody's private personal information. It's the QuickBooks official demo company. So you're gonna see it here, share my screen, and here is QuickBooks. And I'm gonna make this bigger actually. Here we go, so you guys can see it. This is Craig's Design and Landscaping Services, but not really. This is QuickBooks Online sample company, you can see here. So nobody's personal information is being shown. Now, obviously they have, let me see if I can refresh this because they have some triangles here that are showing that it's not all how it's supposed to be. Okay, it's not going to show. So they have done a lot of upgrades, and like I said, there are sometimes kinks, so I'm sorry about that. But this is the banking page, and this is basically your main page that you use as a bookkeeper, as a business owner, as someone doing bookkeeping. you're going to come straight over here to the banking page. If I make it smaller, then we'll see if there's more bank accounts. But this basically shows a checking account, a savings account, and a credit card account. And they're connected directly to the bank account and the credit card account, and they're updated basically instantaneously, but every 24 hours they update. If it looks like it hasn't been updated in a minute, then you would click this button here to update it, and it would connect to the bank accounts and credit cards again and pull in any new information. Now, what you're going to do here is you basically get all the transactions that come in from the bank, and this is the bank account and the credit card. So this is all the ones from the bank. Now, a lot of times in QuickBooks and in doing bookkeeping, you're already entering in checks, bills, things like that, invoices. So a lot of times you can just match things. So here's a deposit, and it found a match to a deposit that we already entered. Previously, the bookkeeper, the business owner, somebody had entered a deposit, and therefore the amount of the deposit, and basically, they deposited a few checks together. So these are the different deposits, the ones that are checked off. It came to this amount of money. And then when they went in here, all they had to do was match. If it wasn't in there, or if there wasn't a deposit, there's more things to do. But this is kind of where you probably spend your most time as a bookkeeper or as a business owner doing bookkeeping, is in the banking tab, because you're going to be updating all of the transactions that come in. And again, if you're entering your checks in QuickBooks to print them from QuickBooks, or you're just entering in them as you go, then it's pretty easy. All you have to do is match it. Sometimes you just have a bunch of transactions from the account, and you're not going to have anything to match it to. So like, for instance, here would be an Amazon transaction, and there was no match. And because this is it's income, it was received, we're going to know that it was an Amazon refund. You paid for something with Amazon, and this is the refund. Now, normally a bookkeeper would go and look and see what the original category that was used to track the Amazon transaction. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to go through it. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to assume that this transaction was a refund for office supplies that we bought on Amazon. So I'm going to save this as a vendor because Amazon's a vendor. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to put it to office expenses. Good enough. Office supplies, office expenses, something like that. It's not specifically related to a customer. If you had more information, you could just say refund on office supplies. Maybe you bought a printer and it didn't work, you returned it. They do that these days. They sell you the printer for $89.99, and then each ink cartridge is $250. That's how they make their money. So then you would add that. So this is really and look at this, still trying to refresh. It's a sample company though, so we're gonna not give them too hard of a time. But this is really where, as a bookkeeper, you're gonna spend, or as a business owner, anybody doing bookkeeping for the company, you're gonna spend the most amount of time in here, because this is where the transactions go. This is where they pull in. And if you do this, if you're a business owner that isn't yet hiring a bookkeeper, and you go through this once a week, maybe it would take you an hour or 45 minutes. If you go through it every day, maybe it would take you 10 minutes. And you just update the transactions from the day before or the week before, and that's it. That's all you have to do. If you run into a transaction that you really don't know what it is or how to deal with it, hopefully you have someone you can ask, like your CPA or a consultant or a bookkeeper that, consults you. But like, let's say here, you knew that, this company is called A1 Rental Backhoe. So you're going to enter the company, A1 Rental. We're just going to call it A1 Rental. And it's a vendor. And you know that you actually didn't rent something, you actually bought a used backhoe or whatever. And so you don't know whether you should put it as an expense because you heard someone say that maybe it's supposed to be an asset because it's equipment. You don't have enough information. You can always put it in the category Ask My Accountant or uncategorized expenses. And then you can run a report later and ask your CPA or bookkeeper, whoever helped you, to help you on that particular one if you're not sure. And they will all understand. And then you just add it that way. Later, let's say you want to run a report and you want to see what you put into uncategorized expenses. You can go here into your chart of accounts, run the report, and you can see everything that you put in here, and you can ask your CPA or bookkeeper, or whoever is your person to help you, and they'll give you more information that will help you. So whatever came up that week, that month, that year, that you weren't sure how to book because it was a little more complicated, you can always ask them here. Okay, let me check if I have any questions. Does anybody have questions here? Nope. Does anybody have questions on my Zoom? Nope. Oh, look, you guys can see what I'm doing. I should probably stop share. Does anybody have any questions here? No. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and we're going to go back to here. So QuickBooks is really easy to use, is kind of my point. Everything is pretty intuitive. And if you can't find something, they've got this great search box up here. I never use this search here because it's not super helpful. I always just go to advanced search, and it's got, for those of you that have used databases, it's got literally a database searcher right here. So it's real easy. You can go, what was that $300 that I spent in March? Okay, yeah, it was this check. That's right, it was connected to this bill. I have an invoice that has a memo of, 15. I don't know if this memo exists in here. No. So, I know I just entered something with a refund in the memo. So here you go. So here's, okay, yeah, I knew I entered something in that said refund. Here it is. Or you can go, what did I pay A1 rental? What did I pay them? Here it is. So it has a database searcher where you can not even have to use any of these areas over here if you don't want to. You can just find what you're looking for. And for me, that's very important. Now, what do you have to do in order for this to work correctly is you have to make sure when you're entering transactions in, you enter all the information. You put in the name, the memo, the invoice number, so that you can search it again. A lot of people will enter all their transactions in without vendor names or customer names. And to me, that's kind of a waste of time, because then later when you're looking at what did that customer pay me, you can't pull up the report from here. So you have to make sure you put in a vendor name or customer. All right, so that's one way that QuickBooks Online is awesome. Here's another way. Here's their reports. And so they have them really easily laid out so you can see exactly what all the reports are. But if you didn't want to scroll down this endless list of reports and you just wanted to see, can I see my vendor list, my expenses by vendor summary? Okay, here it is. You just start typing it in, and here is your vendor summary. Now you can run it for any time period you want. This is for this year to date. You can also display columns by month or by week, and now you've got it by month in here. There's so many ways to use these reports, and they're so easy to find and customize and memorize. And this is basically, I'm pretty sure this is their most stripped down version of QuickBooks Online. So in here, there aren't even all the reports that you're going to find in QuickBooks Advanced. And look how many freaking reports there are. There's endless reports in here. and you can customize them. So for anybody who doesn't think that you can get enough reports, you can make custom reports, save them here. You can make management reports. We use this all the time for our clients. Look how cool these management reports are. We stick our logo on it, and now you've got the profit and loss. It looks super fancy. You've got your balance sheet. It looks super fancy. If you were a bookkeeper, or if you have to give something to your boss that's, you know, running the company or something, look how pretty it is. It's super easy. Good. So that's another reason why I like QuickBooks Online. And here is another way. So this is something that I find really missing with some of these other softwares, is their reconciliation ability. What does reconciliation mean? Reconciliation basically means matching up what you have in your software or your ledgers or whatever to your bank account. They need to match. They need to match to the penny, 0, right? And a lot of people don't know what that means or how to use it. And there's software that says it automatically reconciles. But here's the thing, guys. From time immemorial, since the beginning of monks doing bookkeeping in ledgers, there's always room for human error, and there's always room for computer glitches. So having a reconciliation screen avoids that. Whether the computer glitched and duplicated entries, or whether the human glitched and forgot to enter something in, doesn't matter. This is how you're going to find it. So you're going to go into accounting. You're going to click on reconcile. It gives you this pretty little cover page. Yeah, QuickBooks likes to tell you how to do things. So you're going to have your bank statement, which obviously is a sample company, so there's no real statement. But okay, let's say there was nothing happened that month. Actually, you can even see when it last got reconciled. So this set of books has never been reconciled because this is for bookkeepers to practice on. So that's fine. So you can go to reconcile. The beginning balance, it says, let's say at the beginning of the year was $5,000. So now let's say the ending balance was $10,000. And we want to reconcile it for, you know, it's never been reconciled. So we at least want to reconcile it for January. Now there's no transactions in here for January because it's a sample company and they probably moved the transactions up. But if there were, you would do that. Now I could go, wow, you know what? I actually entered the wrong amount. It was supposed to be $5,000. And look, now it tells me lots of little pop-ups that there's 0 difference. My reconciliation balances, I finish now. Look at it, it gives me a pretty green checkbox. Good job, Maya, you reconciled it. Thank you. And then you go into the next month and you do each month. And you can really see, like, let's say I do June, just because I know that there's actually transactions. So June 30th. So you're going to take your bank statement and you're going to go, obviously there's random months in here, but if I had a bookkeeper that showed me this reconciliation and they said, I reconciled it for May, but there's still these transactions, that means that these could potentially be duplicates. There could have been the wrong thing clicked on. There should never be things left from the past in your reconciliation, unless it was a check that hasn't cleared yet, like a payroll check and it hasn't cleared yet, or potentially sometimes at the end of the month, this happens, right? Where it's like, okay, well, it was paid on the 30th, but it actually cleared on the 1st. Okay, fine. But if I'm doing a reconciliation for June, there should not be anything in here for March, April, May. Maybe these couple at the end of May, but that's it. So now I'm going to take, let's say those aren't there. I'm going to take my bank account, my bank statement. I'm going to go, okay, yeah, there's that, there's that, there's that. Oh, this isn't in my bank account. Why? And I go look in here and I realize that it wasn't actually in June. I put the date in wrong. It actually was July 11th. So I'm going to fix it here. I'm going to save it. And now it's going to move off of my reconciliation where it should be. And this is one of the reasons why I think QuickBooks Online is the best, because other bookkeeping software doesn't give you the ability to do this. And if you try to do your taxes based on unreconciled books, where you don't know actually if these transactions are real or not, you're going to be paying taxes on money that potentially isn't there. So you always want to get it reconciled, and QuickBooks Online is one of the only softwares that actually does it. Xero doesn't do it. A lot of the other ones don't do it. They have like an automatic reconciling feature, which as a bookkeeper that grew up doing real bookkeeping, I hate it. So there you go. Other things that are great about QuickBooks Online is it has a mileage tracker that when you get the QuickBooks Online app, okay, it's a sample company, so it's not showing you it. But when you have the QuickBooks Online app, you can put it on your phone. You literally can turn it on when you're driving and it will track it, or you can enter in mileage. So that's really cool. It also has this receipts field. Okay, I don't, QuickBooks Online, now it's gonna, is it gonna not let me do anything? Okay, I don't care. My webinar is almost over. Stop glitching, QuickBooks. You're making yourself look bad. All right, so it's got this other feature here inside of banking called receipts. There's 3 different ways you can get receipts in here. You can upload from your computer. Oh, there's even another way you can upload from Google Drive. You can email it to yourself. It's not set up on this account, but you can email it to yourself. You set up a unique email address where if you email it, it goes into your QuickBooks. And you can also take a picture from your phone and put it straight in your app. Then all the receipts go here, and then you basically just tell them where to go. So those are some of the reasons I love QuickBooks Online. There's other things too. There's payroll, there is sales tax, there's 1099s you can do in here, payroll taxes. I'm not going to show you everything. There's this cash flow. I don't know if this is going to work with this sample company, but you can see, yep, it doesn't work with the sample company. But basically, using that, you can project out your income based on what you have entered in. So I just wanted to show you guys. Oh, I have questions. Okay, let me answer these questions. Okay, it seems Jerry recommends mint.com. Are we saying to scrap mint.com and go to QuickBooks Online instead? No, they both have different purposes. Jerry's company, because I do their bookkeeping, they use QuickBooks Online. For your personal, you're going to use mint.com. If you want to know how much money you spent on groceries, how much money you spent on vacation, all that stuff, so you can do the personal financial purge, you're using mint.com for that. It's set up for personal bookkeeping, and it's free. If you have a company, you need something more robust than that. You've got different bank accounts, all these things, you're going to use QuickBooks Online. You can, of course, use QuickBooks Online for personal if you want. It's not set up for that. It gets a little complicated. And you can, of course, use mint.com for business if you want. You just set it up correctly. I could probably figure it out. But those are not its purposes. They're both made by Intuit. So mint.com is really for personal. QuickBooks Online is for business. And that's the best answer to that. Okay, Kayla says, I've been using QuickBooks for years and it's super convenient. Some banks you can import bank statements and then edit or enter the account you want it assigned to. Absolutely. I probably need to ask QuickBooks, but do you know anything about adding automatic calculations beside price on invoicing, such as setting up auto weights that will auto populate a total weight? I'm not sure what you mean by weight. Are you selling a product that goes by weight? I'm not totally sure. You can create invoice templates. I'm not sure if you can create them like where they recur by client, but you could potentially make invoice templates that are, for different types of projects, and then you can just use that template. That might help. I'm not sure if that answers your question or not. You can also always book a consultation with me and I can try to help you figure that out. Okay, so those are my questions on Zoom. Let me see if I have any questions. Did I stop sharing finally? I did. Oh, good. And do I have any questions in Facebook? Nobody's asking me questions on Facebook. You guys should ask me questions because you know why? I'm giving away free information here that normally I charge people consultations for me to teach them QuickBooks. Kayla, did I answer your question? And Doug, did I answer your question? If you have any follow-up questions, let me know. Otherwise, we're basically, I'm going to remind everyone again that it's tax season and you got to get your bookkeeping done ASAP or your CPAs will have a fit. Let's be nice to CPAs. They've had a rough couple of years with all of the tax deadlines getting moved and everything crazy, and PPP loans and EIDL and stimulus payments. And we need to be nice to our CPAs. So get them your books as fast as possible. If you haven't done your bookkeeping yet for 2021, please go to your bookkeeper, go to me, go to someone, but do it right now because you're about to run out of runway time, and then you're going to be late, and then you're going to owe penalties, and that's no fun. And tax planning, again, is now. If you want to save money on taxes, don't come to me in January and tell me, how do I save taxes for 2022? Now is the time to plan how to save taxes for 2022 and honestly 2023. Like, you need to come up with your strategies now for the new year. Okay. If you need to get a hold of me, I'm on Facebook on Maya Weinreb. I'm also on Solvency Now Bookkeeping. I'm on LinkedIn under Maya Weinreb. I'm on Instagram under Maya Weinreb, or actually no, Solvency Now Bookkeeping. And on my email is maya@solvencynow.com. My website is solvencynow.com. If you need any help, reach out to us. My mission statement is for my company is complete and perfect financial records for the business owner's peace of mind. I help business owners succeed in their company. That's what I do all day long. Reach out if you need anything. Again, even if you don't need anything from me, let this be a reminder to go to your bookkeeper and go to your CPA right now. Otherwise, come to me. Okay, good. Kayla says that helped. Doug says that helped. Great. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. If it's too big of a question, I'll tell you, let's schedule a consultation, but easy questions I can answer in just a couple of minutes. And then I'll see you all next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bottom Line Live, and we'll talk about more exciting bookkeeping facts. All right, I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much. Bye.